It's Sue from colouringqueen.net, and today I thought I'd actually get started on the Christmas colouring. I cannot believe that it's the 10th of December here in Australia and I haven't even done one picture. Well, I can believe it because I always run like public transport, late and behind time. So today I thought I would colour Johanna's Christmas and the gingerbread house. Now I'm not going to get it finished today. I'm just going to show bits of it on video and then I'm going to work on it and probably do it over 2 videos, and I'm hoping to get another picture done for Christmas, but next time perhaps with less colours. So yeah, this is the little gingerbread house. Now I will put the pencils down below. Sometimes people want to know what they are that I use. And I'm going to use my Prismacolors and my Schiperrer Farben on this picture. And I just want to do a really limited colour palette, like I think probably just traditional colours for Christmas, red and green, or maybe blue, but I do want to do a background for it, and I want to put some of my embossing powder on it and to maybe like the little lines on the roof here of the gingerbread house, maybe do those in embossing powder. I don't know, but anyway, that'll probably be in the next part of the video. And I know I do want to do a background, and I'm thinking that the bottom I'll do is ice because it's not grass, because there's no grass around. So I think I'll do the bottom as ice and then try and do a background. We'll see. We'll see. I think I might be maybe biting off more than I can chew on. I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to take me to do, and I colour so slow. I don't know how some of you people colour so fast. I just am as slow as a wet week. I'm sure there must be other people like me that it takes them, all month maybe to do a picture, but some of you are so fast and I just don't understand it. But anyway, I guess we're all different and that's the main thing. So I hope you guys are well today. I'm well. It is sweltering hot here in Brisbane today, and to be honest, if I wasn't colouring in this gingerbread house and talking to you guys, I would be in the pool because that's one of my favourite places to be. And we've got some new pool toys. It's a pool hammock. It's got like a lilo, and it's not plastic all over, so the water flows over your body, so you're kind of within water but you're lying down. Aldi, the supermarket, had them the other week and I got one and it was so good that I went back and got another one, and oh, I just love it. I just love lying on there and pretending I'm rich and that someone's fetching me margaritas, and that doesn't happen, but it's nice to pretend, and also it's lovely and cool in the water. The only thing that would make it better would be a little doggy in there to play with, but still no luck on the dog. So we won't talk any more about that, and just hopefully Santa's got my letter and he's doing something about the dog adoption. So I love gingerbread. I don't know about you guys. And I don't know if you like actually making gingerbread houses. I noticed that you can buy kits nowadays at the supermarket and at IKEA. But yeah, I used to like making gingerbread houses for David's niece and nephew when they were little. And then I'd decorate them all with icing and lots of lollies, and then we'd eat them. The only problem is that in Australia, in the humidity, the gingerbread, it doesn't stay crispy for very long, depending on how humid it is. But luckily there was one Christmas that was really quite cold for Australia, and my gingerbread house did sort of make it. But yeah, it's really, without kids to make the gingerbread house for, I haven't made one now for years, but I guess I could make one and just be the kid that eats all the lollies, but I'm trying to lose weight. So if you make gingerbread houses, let me know in the comments below. Or do you make gingerbread cookies, or do you hate gingerbread? I love it. I absolutely adore it. And IKEA have got these ginger cookies. Oh, I love those. Whenever we go to IKEA, even if I don't buy anything else, I always try and go and buy a packet of cookies. But I did see the houses there the other day, and I was very tempted to buy one, but I just don't feel that we'll use it, even though David's brother and mother are coming for Christmas. There's no one that's a kid anymore. And the niece and nephew, well, the niece got married on Saturday, unfortunately due to the current world situation. We weren't able to go interstate and attend the wedding because their numbers had to decrease and there were problems with the borders, etc. when we were meant to RSVP. So we said to her, just invite your friends instead of us, and you know, we'll watch it on Facebook, which is what we did. They videoed it, so it's lovely to see her married. You know, it's funny when you used to babysit these little kids, and now they've got kids of their own and they're married, and it's just a funny world, isn't it? But I used to love making her gingerbread houses, and one year she was really into Madeline, some French children's character, so I made her a Madeline cake for her birthday. Man, that thing was so big it took up the front seat of the car trying to fit it on there. But it was so nice having kids to make things for. I guess we could make them for each other, but I don't know. David just eats anything, so it doesn't really seem worthwhile. But I hope you're having a good day, and that if you're celebrating Christmas, that you're thinking about what you're going to make and how you're going to make the day special. I'm sure it's going to be memorable no matter what. And hopefully between now and Christmas you'll have a chance to do some colouring, or if you don't have a chance for that, so perhaps some other hobby or just relaxing in general. It's such a stressful time of year, and anxiety levels can be through the roof depending on what your own circumstances are. So I hope that you're looking after your mental health. And excuse my squeaky chair. I've asked Santa for a new chair, but so far Santa hasn't replied to any of my messages, so I don't know what the go is with Santa, but he always seems to ignore me, totally. So I've been painting this morning, so you might see a bit of paint on my hands. My apologies, I do try and clean them, and sometimes, you know, I am actually better at cleaning them than others, especially when I've been playing in the garden or painting. So this morning I thought I would paint a mirror for our guest bedroom, because David's mum and his brother are coming up, and last year when they came up it was sort of really a construction zone, so I'm trying to make it more of a nice guest bedroom, but it needs to be on a really cheap budget. So I had a timber framed mirror that doesn't go with any of our sort of Scandi minimalist style furniture, so I painted that white this morning, and I just need to clean up the mirror and get it hung up, and that'll look nice. And I've painted up a wardrobe to go in it, and because we don't have built-ins in that one. So I've been doing a lot of painting, so you'll see like a white paint on me, maybe on my nails where I didn't get it all washed off. So that's been good, and I got a new doona or duvet cover, wherever you are in the world, you call them different things. So it's tropical with birds of paradise on it, so I think it'll go nice because the room overlooks palm trees and the pool, so it kind of suits. So I just have to get that all washed and cleaned and put on. And other than that, I've been thinking of Christmas presents. So, you know, Adriana Picker that did the colouring book Where the Wildflowers Grow. She's a Sydney illustrator. She's had 2 colouring books. And for the life of me, I can't remember the name of the first one now. I've seen her work exhibited live, and she's absolutely lovely. Now it's really going to bother me that I can't remember her first colouring book. Anyway, she's got a teacup range, so I'm going to buy my mother-in-law, who will only drink tea and coffee out of a fine china teacup and saucer. She won't use a mug. So I did buy her a nice teacup and saucer last year that she left here for use in the future, but every year since I've been with David, it's been like 20 years, I've just always bought her a cup and saucer, and she has that as her fave, and that's what she uses. So I've bought her like Royal Albert and all sorts, you know, from super expensive to not so expensive. And it's funny, the ones that she really loves and the ones that you can sort of tell that she doesn't like the pattern so much. Anyway, Adriana Picker's got a line of fine teacups and saucers at T2, which if you're in Australia, it's a shop that specialises in teas and tea products, like teapots, etc. So I'm going to brave the big shopping malls and go and get her an Adriana Picker teacup and saucer and see if she likes it. So hopefully she will, and no doubt it will stay up here for when she visits, because she's still got hundreds of ones that I've bought her previously back in Sydney. So hopefully she likes it. I actually went to the big shopping centre or shopping mall the other day, and I couldn't believe it. First week of December, and the crowds were unbelievable. There were so many people, and I'd ordered click collect just so I could go in, grab my stuff, and, you know, bolt out and do something better. And wouldn't you know it, the things that I went there for click and collect, they didn't have them, and they just gave me a refund, or they're going to give me a refund. But you go all that way, you battle the crowds, and if I'd known that the things were out of stock when they picked the order, I would have just cancelled it and not braved the shopping centre. It was just too much, too many people. So that's why I need to get this cup and saucer before the crowds get really heavy for Christmas, because I do not want to brave too many people in the outside world just to get a cup and saucer, one present. So we don't really have a lot of people to buy for this year. We're just buying for David's mum and his brother. And David and I have never, well, I've bought David Christmas presents before, but he's never bought me one. So we won't be buying each other presents this year. I probably will buy myself a Christmas present because, hey, I deserve it, maybe, or I just want it. One of those. Anyway, I'll probably buy myself a Christmas present. And I was thinking of getting Millie a Christmas present. I did buy her a new little bowl the other day that's got a little moat around it to keep ants out of her food. But I thought she might like a little Santa hat or something, but when I checked them out in the shop, when I braved that big shopping mall, they were really too big for her little head, and I think she'd never forgive me for it. So I was thinking of getting her a new kitty litter box that's top entry rather than side entry, because they're easier for Mummy to clean, but I don't know if that counts as a Christmas present for her. I don't know what she would like for Christmas, to be honest. She's got everything and things that I've bought her, toys and whatnot. She looks at me as if I'm a weirdo for thinking that she would even play with anything so silly, so I'm at a loss. She's a funny little cat. She's asleep at the moment. She's got this new thing that she gets on our round coffee table, And I call it the cat clock because she seems to get herself into a position of like head at 12 o'clock, tail at 6, and she keeps moving around like she's a clock. So next time you go back and look, her head might be at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, and her tail's moved to, 6 or 12 or whatnot. And it's like she thinks she's a clock. And even in the middle of the night, she does that. So it's a weird thing that she's got this new thing of sitting on this coffee table that she never sat on. And the awful thing is, it was the coffee table that I went over to the shopping mall to get because we've needed a new one ever since we moved here, and we've just been basically making do with kind of scraps, really, scrappy coffee tables. And so I'd bought this one online and went to pick it up, and that's the one that they'd run out of stock on, and they're going to refund my money. But I kind of feel a bit bad now because Millie's enjoying this scrappy coffee table as a little cat clock, and it'll look like I'm taking away her toy when I replace it with another coffee table. So I don't know whether I should just leave it there. We'll see. I guess if they don't have the coffee table in stock, Millie gets to be a cat clock. I don't know if any of you guys have cats that do something like that, but I'd love to know if it's a Millie quirk or if all cats pretend to be a clock and move around on the hour, like following the clock face. It's just crazy. I've even woken up at 3 o'clock in the morning and she's out there doing her cat clock. So I don't get it. She goes through quirks of what she loves and what she doesn't love, that cat. Speaking of what people love, I don't know if I told you guys, but David and I have become obsessed with a TV show that is so old, everyone's probably already watched it, but we never watch anything when they first come out. We tend to get involved with it once all the seasons have finished, and you can kind of binge watch it, or you know whether it's a good one, whether it'll last the distance. So we've been watching Big Bang Theory, and I never was interested in that show when I seen trailers of it, but now I just love it to death and I can't stop laughing. I think it's absolutely hilarious. And so we thought that the full seasons of it, the whole series, would get us through to Christmas, but of course we finished watching the whole series about a month ago. And then when we finished watching it, we couldn't find another comedy show to watch as our new favourite. And so guess what? We're back to Big Bang again. And I think we're already up to season 8. So by the time Christmas comes around, I think we'll have watched the whole thing twice. And it's funny because in some episodes, they're new to either one or both of us. So maybe we dropped off to sleep or we forgot where we were up to, but so there's still some surprises, and it's still hilarious, even back to back, second time binge watching straight after one another. But I don't know if you guys do this, but sometimes I feel like I just want to cry, and it's like an emotional release, and you feel like a good cry sometimes, but you've got nothing to cry about. So the other day I wanted to have a cry, but I had nothing to cry about. And so I went and watched on YouTube the last episode of Big Bang Theory, which I think is absolutely one of the best last episodes in any series I've ever seen. And just watched the speech on it. And oh, I was blubbing. And it was so good to have a lovely little cry. So let me know in the comments below if you do that as well. I'd like to think that I'm not the only one that does that, seeks out things to make them cry just so that they can have a bit of a release. I hope I'm not the only one that does that, because that would be weird. But it's funny, when we were watching the last episode of Big Bang, when we first started watching the series, I was blubbing my eyes out because I cry at anything. And I looked over at David expecting him just to be sitting there watching it, and he was crying as well. And we were both crying about pretty well the same thing, so I won't say what it is in case you wanted to watch that show, even though it finished a long time ago. But you might be like us and only go to things later on. But it was really funny seeing David sitting there crying his eyes out as well. It's funny that we both sometimes do the same things as each other, cry over the same things. Because usually if something sad's on, he just gets a box of tissues and puts it next to me, and he knows the waterworks are going to come. So lately I haven't felt like colouring in, and then I decided that I would just colour in one colour to try and help me focus and ease back into colouring. And I think colouring is great for relieving anxiety, but it can also cause anxiety as well, because sometimes you might be like me and you worry too much about choosing the right colours, and you think that you might be judged on what you're going to do. And so for the last year or more, I've been trying to let go of those feelings because they give me a lot of anxiety, and I don't want to colour, and I certainly don't want to video when I feel like that. So I've been doing a lot of limited colours. So this time I'm just going to do the reds and the greens and add that in. Maybe some blue, but I'm not too sure. I really don't want to do too much colour-wise, because the picture that I most enjoyed colouring was my Maria Troll one with all the blue polychromos, and that video is down below somewhere, because it just relaxed my mind so much of not having to think about colours. So I think next picture I'll colour for Christmas, even though it's not traditional and it's not the done thing. For me, I think I will just colour it in like blacks and greys or something like that, because at the moment that's just what I feel like doing. And it's funny how you get these little urges, you know. I love looking at everyone else's colourful pictures, but at the moment I'm just not feeling it for myself. So maybe in the new year I'll want all the colours of the rainbow. And the great thing is that I've actually got 2 copies of this colouring book, so if I do colour a picture in greys, etc., then I can always use my second copy and colour it in a different colour next year. And hopefully I'll start earlier on the Christmas colouring, although I never do. I always leave it really late. But I do really want to do the embossing on it, and I've got a couple of colours that I can use, so I'm not really quite sure, but I would like to use it and see what it looks like. Just, you know, to know if it's something worthwhile doing again or whatnot. So next video I'll probably do the background and the embossing, and I've got a little craft heat gun that I can use to sort of melt the little embossing crystals. So I think maybe around the door, those little candy canes and whatnot, they look like they need a little bit of embossing. We'll see. And maybe those little roof curls. I don't know. And I don't know how it's going to go. I remember using David's industrial heat gun on a colouring project that I videoed, and it set the whole paper on fire. So I've got a fire extinguisher, don't panic. But I hope that doesn't happen with the little craft one. I hope I don't get too carried away. So I just thought I'd do these candies in red and green stripes, and the good thing is if I don't like it, I'll just go over it with the embossing powder and make it 3D looking. So as well as painting, I've also been rearranging the colouring cave. So I've had to put some pencils away and books away. And in the process, I found, a lot of things that I've ordered twice by mistake, or things that I don't like much anymore, or things that I just know I'm never going to colour, or pencils that I've got like umpteen sets of. Can you believe this? I had 8 packets of one brand of pencils. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm having a de-stash. I'm going to put it on to eBay just for Australians, and I've got things that are still wrapped up that I'd bought twice and by accident. So I'm going to sell those on eBay, and hopefully with that, hopefully if they sell, then I can, maybe buy Millie a nice little Christmas present. Although I think she's going to get that kitty litter box. I don't think she's interested in a Santa hat, but we'll see. And so, yeah, basically the de-stash it took about 3 days for me to clean everything, because Millie's hair gets on everything, and I had to dust it and vacuum it and put it away and decide if it was going here or if it was going somewhere else. And one of the reasons that I'm de-stashing is this house is half the size of our previous house, even though the land is 10 times bigger. Well, not 10, 5 times bigger. The actual house is half the size, and we've just got no space, and I actually can't stand clutter. I really can't stand it. My mother was a hoarder, and even though I didn't live with her my whole life, or my whole childhood, the memories of all her stuff just get into my head sometimes, and I just can't stand it. I can't stand the thought of stuff everywhere, and especially if I really don't think I'm going to use it, or I've already got stuff. So it's quite good, I think, to every now and again just go through your things and see what you want and what you don't want, because everyone changes over time. Like, my taste has changed so much since 4.5 years ago when I started this channel. So I'm really looking forward to actually clearing out some stuff and making way for just like a bookshelf of favourites. I think that would be really good for me. That's what I've been up to this week. But until next time, stay safe and happy colouring.